Hey, what's going on? It's me again with another Magic the Gathering combo. This is a green one, elf deck. Alright, so let me demonstrate. Okay, what you're going to need out is 7 land, 7 forests. You're going to have, so it's going to be a little later in the game, 2 mana reflections. If you tap a permanent for mana, it produces twice of that much mana instead. So you're going to want to have 2 of those out. 2 of these out. Elvish Art Druids, 2/2. Other elf creatures you control get +1/+1. For tap, add green new mana pool for each elf you control. Imperious Perfect, 2/2. Other elf creatures you control get +1/+1. For tap, for green and tap, put a 1/1 green elf warrior creature token into play. Doubling Cube, double the amount of each type of mana in your mana pool. 3 colorless and tap. And your 7 forests. So you're going to need those out. Alright. Now this is just one of the combos here. Alright. So I'm going to pay that, and I'm going to get 4 mana, 4 green from those for tapping that one. So I'm going to use 3 colorless of it to tap that. So now each land I tap produces 8. I think. Yep. Because 4 from that and double it from that. So, here we go. 8, 16, 22, no, 24, 32, 36, no, 40, 48. We'll say it's a couple turns, so you say you have just 3 of these out. The creatures, the 1/1s, so they'd be 3/3s. But okay, all right. So I was at 48. So you got 6 of those out. 6. So okay. Okay. So I'm getting 8 for each elf. I'm getting 8 mana. Wait a minute. Okay, yeah. Alright, so we got 6 out. 6 elves. So I'm going to times that by 4. Yeah, this shit does get confusing. Add green to mana pool for each elf you control. Double it. Right, so I'd be adding 8 to my mana pool for each elf I control. And I control 6. Okay, 68. 68. Okay. I control 6, so I will be adding 48 just for that one. Just for tapping that one. Tap that one for another 48. Okay, now after all that, it does get a little confusing. Alright, so you got all that mana. You're going to be playing Stream of Life. So, say you start out at 20 life, because that's what we start out here when we play, is 20 life. Some start at 30 or whatever, but we start at 20. So if I started the game at 20, and I did this, well, it'd have to be at least my 6th turn, or no, 7th. Yeah. And I did that, I'd be at 164 life already. Excuse me. Just like that. Now, there's also these two combos here that work with all this mana. One of them is Strength of the Tajuru. It's an instant, 2 green and X, multi-kicker of a colorless. Choose target creature. Then choose another target creature for each time it was kicked. Put X +1/+1 counters on each of them. Okay, 48 plus 48 plus 48. So, yeah, a lot of +1/+1 counters on all your creatures. I think I had that right. Yeah. And another combo is doing it with this Jiraga Warcaller. Costs 1 green, multi-kicker of a green and a colorless. Enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it for each time it was kicked. Other elf creatures you control get +1/+1 for each +1/+1 counter on this. So again, 48, 48, 48. So you'd have to, yeah, well, it would take some figuring, but you can see that thing would be pretty damn big. So that together with that Strength of the Tajuru, nasty. And all these together, it's a nasty combination. There's other stuff in that deck that works with it as well. It can gain you a lot of life too, definitely. Especially if you use this card with it, which I do when I play my elf deck. This is one of the cards I have to bounce between 2 decks, but yeah, especially if you do it with that out and that as well and that as well, because all 3 of those bounce into my bounce between my elf deck and my angel deck, and that too. Another Wall of Reverence, another one of the beacons, another Cradle, Elspeth Knight Errant. Yeah, those all bounce between those 2 decks. Which Cradle of Vitality, if you don't know, whenever you gain life, you may pay 1 colorless and 1 white. If you do, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature for each 1 life you gained. Wall of Reverence, 1/6 defender flying. At the end of your turn, you may gain life equal to the power of target creature you control. Boon Reflection, if you would gain life, you gain twice that much life instead. So, yeah, that's a combo that goes between those 2 decks. That life gaining one anyways. The mana one is obviously just in this elf deck. But yeah, those are a couple of my combos. Hope you enjoyed. Later.